Florentine YGO.
Hello everybody, it is Florentine Yu-Gi-Oh here giving you the next in the series of the Waking the Dragons character decks from the character deck duels we've done a while ago now. So as you can see, this is obviously with a Blue Eyes White Dragon. This is going to be Seto Kaiba's Waking the Dragons deck from Season 4 of Duel Monsters. And a lot of liberties had to be taken with this deck just because there were some cards added in here that he didn't play, but we thought fit his theme to give him 40 unique cards, as well as we also doubled up on some cards, just because a lot of his, the cards he used in this season were never printed. Things like Charm of Lamentation and mostly Charm of Lamentation. I think there's a few others that I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, we're going to show you how I built my Seto Kaiba character deck for the Waking the Dragon season. So without further ado, with any Kaiba deck, you gotta play the 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons. Has to be this artwork unless you're building a Dark Side of Dimensions Kaiba deck. And yeah, it's been with 3 of these, been with Kaiba since the beginning. And we've got Paladin of White Dragon. Not much else to say really. It's good against people, against characters that set a lot of defense, because he can just attack right over them without applying damage. Kaiser Seahorse. Kaiba does run a lot of tribute monsters with 3 blue eyes and a few other monsters you're going to find, so any way he can get his strong monsters on the field easier is a must. So there's the Kaiser Seahorse. And then Lord of Dragons. Preventing your dragon type monsters from being targeted in character deck duels is actually a pretty powerful effect. So, and also if you get this guy out with Flute of Summoning Dragon, and then combo him with Flute of Summoning Dragon, that's also very, very good. Rarely comes up, but very good if you can pull it off. Our next trio is X-Head Cannon, Y Dragon Head, and Z Metal Tank. Obviously used to combine together to form the XYZ Dragon Cannon. Next up, Kaiba's other dragon cards. We have Spear Dragon here. Very good card, just 1900 Piercer, but it goes to defense at the end of that battle phase. But it's still a pretty good card for character deck duels. That high attack is nothing to laugh at. Then we have Different Dimension Dragon, which combo this with things like Crush Card and Doom Virus or Doom Virus Dragon, and you've basically got an invincible setup where your opponent can't summon anything more than 1500 or more, and this thing can't be destroyed by anything with 1500 or less. So it puts them in like a soft lock if you can get it, if they don't have if they don't have like monster removal effects. Then Kaiser Glider destroys. It's not destroyed by battle with any monster that has the same attack as it, and then when it's destroyed, you can return a monster on the field to the hand. So that's pretty good. It's also another dragon, fits Kaiba's dragon theme. Then we have 2 Pitch Dark Dragon. This is one of the cards I decided to double up on. Not only because it is a dark with 1000 or less attack for Crush Card, but I figured it was a good fix to fit his dragon theme, and he did play this. He did play this in that season, but the one thing he didn't play, which I found really odd, he played this, but he didn't play Dark Blade. Now Kaiba did not play Dark Blade in this season. He actually had never played the card at all. But the thing is, Kaiba ran Pitch Dark Dragon. Why would he not have this to combo with it in his deck? So yeah, we played the 1 Dark Blade with the 2 Pitch Dark Dragons. Just so that Pitch Dark Dragon has some more usefulness in the deck, other than just being a Crush Card target. And Dark Blade, good 1800 beater. Then we have Blade Knight, just another Kaiba card you see in a lot of his decks. Versago the Destroyer, a card I think he only played in this season. And even though he didn't use its effect is very useful in this deck because, well, it's a fusion substitute monster. Then we have some more tribute vanillas with Gadget Soldier and the Judge Man. Judge Man coming back from Duelist Kingdom. Gadget Soldier, I think, was in Battle City before being played in this season. And Gadget Soldier, pretty lackluster, but he played it, so it's in here. And Judge Man is just Judge Man. Last monster of the deck is Kaiba's Vorse Raider. Another 1900 to beater. Kaiba has a lot of like beaters and a lot of tribute monsters. It's just getting them to work together. That's the trick. Now for spells. Drawing. We have Card of Demise. Obviously, we play this with its anime effect in these character deck duels. So when it's activated, its controller draws until they have 5 cards in their hand. And then in 5 of their standby phases, they have to send their entire hand to the graveyard. So yeah, pretty powerful. But in clunky character decks like this, it's not as broken as you would think. More drawing. Pot of Greed. Not much else to say. Draw 2 memes. Then we have Monster Reborn. You know, Pot of Greed, Monster Reborn, everybody has them. The Fang of Critias, of course, Kaiba's legendary dragon, the one that can fuse with certain trap cards to create new dragon monsters with very powerful effects, I might add. Then we play 2 polymerization in this version. I know it's not the artwork they used in the show. I only own 1 copy of that, and it's going to stay in the Yugi deck, but nevertheless, polymerization, gotta play it. I play 2 because not only can Kaiba make Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, but he can also make... I also included Darkblade the Dragon Knight in the extra deck, so just being able to get fusions out more consistently helps a little bit with 2 poly. Then we have the Flute of Summoning Dragons. He didn't actually play Flute in this season, but he did play Lord of D, and Kaiba has a lot of high-level dragons, so we thought it'd just be better to include it. Silent Doom, another way to bring back a monster from the graveyard and then maybe use it as a tribute. White Dragon Ritual, obviously the ritual spell for the Paladin of White Dragon. Then Cost Down, pretty useful card in this deck, especially when you can summon Different Dimension Dragon or Kaiser Glider for free with the... Well, not for free because you have to discard a card, but for no tributes. You're essentially summoning them from your hand with this card. And then Blue Eyes becomes a 1 tribute. Then we also have Soul Exchange. You know, sacrifice one of their monsters to tribute summon a monster, but you lose your battle phase. So, but in character deck duels, this becomes a really good card. I think Kaiba's only spell and trap removal, Wingbeat of Giant Dragon, return a level 5 or higher dragon type monster from your side of the field to the hand, and then it's a Heavy Storm for the field. Very good against character decks if you can actually get one of the dragons out. Character decks like Yugi and Yugi set a lot of back row. You always got to watch out for that Mirror Force, so Wingbeat of Giant Dragon is just really nice. A more defensive spell card for Kaiba, we have Shrink. Shrink with Vorse Raider to make him a crush card target is also a thing. And but you're mostly just going to use this to reduce your opponent's monster's attack, just so you can run over something. Ring of Defense for the last spell and starting the traps. Ring of Destruction. Ring of Destruction, we play it by the old text. Ring of Defense, we play it by the anime effect, where it only stops effect damage done to you by a card effect. And so, because you have the Ring of Destruction, blow up a monster, both players take the damage, but then you play Ring of Defense, so only your opponent's taking damage. So yeah, there's the ring combo. Next up, we have one of the best trap cards ever made before it got errated. It is Crush Card Virus. Obviously, we got to play it with the old text for character deck duels. Not playing this by its anime effect. The anime effect is just way too broken. So we're just playing it by its old effect, its old printed effect. because it's already powerful enough. But the errated effect is pure garbage, so we figured we'd just play by the old text and give Doom Virus Dragon a different effect in the process. Tyrant Wing. This really has no other purpose than to fuse with Critias to become Tyrant Burst Dragon. I mean, yes, you can equip it to one of your dragons, and it can attack twice and gains attack, but let's face it, you want to go for those Critias fusions whenever you can. Just for some stall, and because Kaiba has a lot of high-level monsters and can brick a lot, we played 2 copies of Negate Attack. He only played 1, but it was one of the cards we decided to double up on just to give him more cards and get closer to that magic number of 40. So 2 Negate Attack. And then the last card in Kaiba's main deck is Cloning. When your opponent summons a monster, you flip this up and you summon a token with the same stats as that monster. If your opponent's monster leaves the field, the token's destroyed as well. It's just good for kind of creating a wall that your opponent has to tie with. It can help in a pinch, but it's not that great of a card, but it can help in a pinch sometimes. So that's Cloning. Now we have the Fusion deck. We got Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, the combination of 3 Blue Eyes, or 2 Blue Eyes and a Versago. And then we have Dark Blade the Dragon Knight. This is in here for the same reason I said Dark Blade is in the deck. He played Pitch Dark Dragon. Why wouldn't he have played Dark Blade? And since he runs Pitch Dark Dragon, Polymerization, and we put Dark Blade in the deck, we thought it'd be appropriate to put Dark Blade the Dragon Knight in the deck as well. But it's very good effect to be able to banish monsters from your opponent's graveyard when it does battle damage. Then we have the XYZ Dragon Cannon. You rarely ever get this thing out. Next up is Doom Virus Dragon. Now, this guy has been errated because his printed effect is basically Crush Card's old effect. And we're using Crush Card with its old effect. This thing has its anime effect, where as long as it's on the field, it destroys any face-up monster on your opponent's field with 1500 or more attack. That is a continuous effect, which is very powerful. And like I said, it combos with Different Dimension Dragon as well. Because if you have both of these on the field, you basically need monster removal to get over these before you can start playing powerful monsters again. But it rarely comes up, and if you pull a Critias combo off with only 1 Critias in the deck and 1 trap card and 1 copy of the trap to fuse with, you deserve to win, honestly. Then we have Tyrant Burst Dragon, fuse Critias with Tyrant Wings. I'm not playing the Destruction Dragon only because it's a newer card. It wasn't played. Kaiba never played it. I understand that it's kind of a Kaiba card, but I'm trying to stick to stuff they only played and taking liberties only when I feel it's really necessary. Even though you could play it in this deck if you really wanted to. And then lastly, we have Mirror Force Dragon. Kaiba does not run Mirror Force. This is for the tag duel, the 2 versus 1 against darts, where Kaiba fuses Critias with Yugi's Mirror Force to create this. So yeah, Mirror Force Dragon. The last card in the Fusion deck, and the last card in the Kaiba deck as a whole. So I really hope you enjoyed this look into the Seto Kaiba deck I created for my cousin and I to play with. So, oh gosh, what was I going to say? Alright, anyway, we hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. Every little bit helps, and maybe even subscribe if you're new. Comment, tell us what you thought. Next character deck profile coming is going to be Raphael, so look forward to that. I also have three Orica structure decks from Pegasus Fantasy Cards on the way too. One of them is already here. I just got to make the video. But yeah, look forward to that. And as always, Florentine Yu-Gi-Oh! Out, but he won't be out for long. See y'all next time. Goodbye, and thanks for watching.